All right, so back to Emily. Should be easy enough. Oh, thank God I didn't miss this. Butte supplement. Butte AWE 17. According to their testimony, the agents had been transported from the Butte home in the roadside motel to a roadside motel named the Ocean View Motel and Casino, and discovered a room key by performing a ritual. See file MOT01. The key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house. The disappearances of the home's owner and the other locals of Butte have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View Motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in the Butte home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, redacted light cords have been found in the oldest house, located in redacted and redacted sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel. Though exactly this link operates, or how exactly this link operates, is redacted, but initial hypotheses center on the Butte AWE as a redacted. See Dr. Darling's presentation 24.3 for more details. Okay. Oh, God. Hey, tea time. Hey, Malcolm. Yes, tea time is at 7. I'll see you at the course on Sunday morning. By the way, have you heard about this Tennyson report? Apparently there's a bunch of copies drifting around the office. Trent is looking to get his hands on any information about who wrote it. Would you happen to have heard anything about that, would you? See you Sunday. Jim. Is Jim the mole? Ooh, that's bad. I gotta run forward. There you go. Nailed it. Nailed it. Alright, so we survived. That's pretty rad. Good for us. Good for us. We did it. They must have taken out the ability to stand on top of that. You used to be able to stand on top of that centerpiece. Maybe I just didn't get the clip right, but you used to be able to stand on top of it and then open the thing in there. But it's okay. This will just teleport us to the place of power, which we can use to fast travel back to the boardroom or to central executive. That's what we're looking for. Couldn't remember the name.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry, you made it. I'm glad.
Emily? Let's talk.
Of course.
Initial impressions. Analysis of the Hiss threat, Part 1. Initial encounters with the entity known as the Hiss have revealed various behavioral facts. Most notably, the Hiss is able to invade or corrupt control points, altered items, and even humans, radically changing their behavior. Curiously, any person wearing one of the wearable HRA devices that Dr. Darling has been distributing over the past weeks was not affected by this corruption. The only known exception to this fact is the new director, Jesse Faden, who possesses an inherent immunity to the Hiss. This could indicate that she has already been corrupted, but her behavior is so in contrast to that of the other Hiss that I have dismissed that theory. My final observation comes from Ms. Faden herself. She is able to cleanse material and organisms of hiss corruption. We tested the ability on a hiss-corrupted entity, but unfortunately the process seemed to kill the host. Perhaps the host's physiology becomes reliant on the hiss. More work to be done. Refer to file redacted for full report. I like that she redacted her own reports, like, as she's writing them at the table. It's very funny.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown.
Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself.
Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
Ati. And the NSC Mark II. Very important. All right, missions. Find a way for to get in the maintenance sector. Internal lockdown, an emergency security measure, is stopping Jesse from looking for Trench's missing management team in other sectors. Jesse sets out to enter the maintenance sector to find the directorial override and lift the internal lockdown. Ooh. Board countermeasures. All right, so this is just talking about the random events that occur. So there's a mechanic in this game where random measures will show up, and you just have to deal with them if you like as like a challenge, as a thing you can do. But it doesn't really matter, so I never really pay attention to it.
Hi, Jesse.
Nothing new.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Now, I do think that there are sometimes notes that appear around this room, so...
Do you hear that? Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
Singing. Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
Probably is. Let's see. Can I go in here yet? Oh yeah, this is just this room. Controller's doing that weird thing again. I'm very curious why this keeps happening. Or my sprint button keeps getting toggled off. The game supports dual keyboard and mouse at the same time as controller, so I can always just switch if I ever want to. It's not really a big deal. I like controller for combat in this game like quite a bit. But anyway, let's head over to all the different areas here.
Honestly, I don't know what happened.
I keep thinking about the pulsing under his skin and those words. They're stuck in my head.
I don't love that phrase. Pulsing under his skin. That's not great. Para-utility. Examination of paranatural topics, objects of power, and their para-utility. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. The potency of these abilities depends on the para-utilitarian. Using the redacted object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of redacted, so this is about the floppy disk, while others are only capable of as little as redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.15 for more information. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some redacted exists within the body in that. Like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmore records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. Refer to file 854-1982 for full report. I wonder what these are actual, like, diagrams of. I offer a coffee if you do. That's fun. Cute little thing. I'm gonna go back to near the director's office because there is a thing. And look at that. Director Jesse Faden. I wanted to open this. Agent death notification. So this is going to be a reference back to that other note that said what we should do to approved phrases we can use in the context of someone's death. I regret to inform you that your son, Grandpots, was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death are classified, I am honored to tell you that he died in service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against her enemies. He'll be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Sincerely yours, Howard J. Murray, Deputy Chief of Communications, Federal Bureau of Control. Very funny. Anything new here? Spinning out of control, yes. Yeah, it's just a generic texture. See it everywhere. I already went in there, yeah. I don't think there's much else. I've never really tried to come back here, so it's probably a good idea. Trench, Bureau funding. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident. Regard, Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. There we are, just back to Central Executive. Time to hit up that elevator. Let's go. But first, before we do that, let's look at things like astral constructs. So here, we can construct different weapon forms. These are our different weapons. This is the shotgun. I basically never use that. I just never use it. We can create different mods for our weapons, but again, literally none of these are useful at all. We're never going to touch any of them right now. We will do abilities. First thing we're going to do is unlock launch damage. Very, very important. Oh, they added a respec. That's fun. And energy, just so that we have more. Do I have anything? Oh, I guess we have 3 things that we can do. More launch damage, just to have it, because it's extremely helpful. And we got an additional weapon form slot. And we'll spend our last ability on some health. That's great. All right. We can equip the other weapon. Projectile is fired, +2. Projectile spread, -5. Yeah, we can... Let's see. Damage while low on health, 38. Meh. Damage against enemy armor also doesn't really matter. Projectiles fired is fine for now. This is an area we can't really do anything with yet. Can't get in there. There's a jukebox. How do I switch weapons in this mode? I don't remember. Huh? I don't remember how to switch the weapon. Oh well.
Time to work. Meet me in the maintenance.
Lots of people missing. Mike Pennington, last seen April 4th, 56 years old. 1, 2, 3 are your abilities. I don't know what scrolling does. I mean, I'll just have to check. It's fine. We're in the executive sector, but we have access to the maintenance sector access corridor now. So let's go down there.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
I love his pony Walkman.
The maintenance sector is the janitor domain. If I can find Ahti here, he can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ahti.
Maybe, yeah, here we go. Did I got more things? No, that was weird. Switch weapon F.
It felt
Gotcha.
like he made the elevator appear that took me to
There we
Trench's
go.
office.
All right, I get
Is
it.
Ahti guiding me too?
Version says the janitor's a friendly face, followed by the most ominous clip of the janitor possible. I was thinking that. I was like, it's kind of funny that it's just all of a sudden, You get a clip of the janitor, and he's, it's like a horror movie stinger. So I really like this little moment. I just blew right past this without even thinking, but most players are going to run up to this and go like, oh, I can't get in. But if you pay attention to the environment, you will notice that these windows are not the ones that are reinforced. So you can just walk right in. And we have another book club. So they're going to review that sci-fi book we just learned about. Unless You, review by Captain Lopez. These days, most YA novels intertwine the coming-of-age story with either contrived dystopian settings or a tragic romance, unless you manage to do both. In the story, the protagonist and her love interest search for a cure to a virus called the Fix, which is simultaneously killing her and spreading across the whole world. To find the cure, they go on expeditions into dangerous, uncharted territories. The people all live in walled cities now because of dystopian futures. And along the way, they just have to fall in love. I liked how we never got to know if the fix was ever really fixed. The ending was bold, especially for YA. The main character succumbs to Fix when she's so close to the cure and commands her love interest to go on and save the world. She knows this is the end for her. But that job can still get done. She dies out in the unknown, alone and surrounded by danger, but never loses sight of the goal. That's a good soldier's death. I give this book 3 out of 5. I feel most of the teenage angst is a little lost on me, but I'd recommend it to my brother's kids. So that's kind of interesting, huh? The book is not the same. It's different for every single person that reads it. It's subjectivity run wild. It's literally not even the same book. It might be an altered item. It's kind of fun.
The directorial override is right there, in the control room. How do we get there?
Oh god. Oof. Oh no. Alrighty. I love these cleansing scenes. They look so cool. Launch pull hits are so satisfying, says Roshan. Yeah, I agree. I love the way that they, I love the, like, satisfaction of targeting an enemy, like targeting something behind an enemy, and then it flings and smashes them. It's so great. All right. Oh god. Ah, damn, I died. I really need to just not use the shotgun. The pistol is so good. I basically never use any gun other than this one, and then there's one pretty late game gun that I use. There's just no need to use anything other than grip. This one. Or not that. This one. Alright. That was weird. No HUD headshot, baby. Let's go. ouch. Ah, I got iced again. Hey, Bloss. I'll get better once I get more comfortable with the controls again. Let's do it. Early game 2, you just have so few abilities. Very good. There we go. Much better threat management. Sweet. I love this room because enemies spawn in it every single time you walk through it, which means I get to play the fun shooty game that I like every single time we walk through here. There's something very Alan Wake 2 about the fences in here. Like this area that you're like sort of navigating around. God, the reflections are so fucking amazing. This is incredible looking. This game is just so amazing looking. I can't wait until Control 2 melts my goddamn computer.
What's down that way?
That's the janitor office. And look, it's that same picture of Ati. But we're not going to go down there yet. A merry chase. Investigate the strange light in the break room. Sure, gladly. I love this room.
Oh, this place makes me nauseous. An object of power. How do you think it got down here? A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so creepy?
All right. The horse choo-choo allows you to dash. Use it to prove yourself and escape. You and the horse are now bound / friends for life. I love that.
Let's see the hiss keep up with me now.
There we go. So now we have another one of our core abilities. And this grants us access to a lot of places that we couldn't get to before. I love that the game jukes you right there. The house has shifted and repaired itself. Aha! Yes, finally we got one. All right.
drawing the pyramid.
The what?
The pyramid.
What's a pyramid?
The Black Pyramid. It's in the astral plane.
Airplane?
Astral plane. It's big, white, and empty. Or is it? It's a weird, crazy alien dimension. The white goes on forever. You can get lost in all that white and never find your way back home.
The tree.
I miss my home.
I love Threshold Kids. It's so good. It's so perfect. It so perfectly captures that incredible internet ARG dark horror aesthetic. It's effortless. And you know they did their research. You know they were sitting there reading creepypasta for 45 years. Those people read Candle Cove 400 times before they made that. I just love it. It just hits me. It just hits me so good.
Dad. Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ahti here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ahti. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
You think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, että this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ahti.
Uzklek says, what's his accent, or is it supposed to sound like a mishmash? He is Finnish. He is played by Finnish actor Martti Suosalo. And that's just his natural speaking voice.
Yep. Burn the trash. throw it in the fire. Burn it all. Burn it into a reindeer, not into a moose.
And yeah, he speaks basically entirely in translated Finnish idioms, which is extremely fun. Is there anything else in here? Anything good? Is that a stapler or an altered item? Don't take office equipment outside of the building. Man,
It's time for a coffee break. So.
It's Tima for a coffee break. What a game. What a delightful game. I love this game. Do you ever get just pure joy playing something that you really like? Haha, me neither, lol. Just asking for a friend. Alright. Perfect. Unlock the shortcut.
Okay, so what happens again if that thing blows up?
Power. Explosion. Too much. Director's duty. Keep the lights on.
Northmoor was director before me. I never wanted his job. I never wanted power. I purposefully avoided it, didn't trust it, didn't want to rely on it. Northmoor was all about power. A man like an explosion, hungry for authority, for order, for more, until it was too much. I had to find a solution in the end, contain the situation. Northmoor never liked me, but he went along with it, to his credit. He didn't really have a choice. I suppose at the end of the day, a director's most basic duty is to keep the lights on. Here's to you, Northmoor. There were no prime candidates waiting in the wings, but I was there. Had been the whole time, keeping my head down, working my ass off. I had nothing to lose. I picked up the gun almost on a dare.
So that's fun. So there's a lot in there that we can learn from Northmoor. He is an explosion of a man whose goal was to keep the lights on. Just setting things correctly. Go, multimedia. Episode of Threshold Kids. Merry-go-round horse. Containment procedure OOP-16KE. Object should be kept in a confined space when unbound. A fiberglass horse once used as a seat for a merry-go-round ride. The pole is still connected to the object. The object is capable of moving short distances at high speeds. This can be quite dangerous when, redacted, its path. The object is currently bound by redacted. The object was discovered at the site of an abandoned amusement park. Local redacted reported that the rides would move on their own and that they would be chased out. When these rumors reached the Bureau, See America Overnight episode 235, agents were dispatched to investigate. 3 local redacted were found dead at the scene. The object attacked Agent Redacted by redacted. Agents invoked Formula C5 to pacify the object long enough to redacted. Probably bring it back to the oldest house. Have anything else? Nope. So yeah, Northmoor was a man who sought to keep the lights on. So he was a director that did what he needed to do. But then we found out that Trench became director, but he did it basically on a dare. Arish, or Arish, escaped OOP. An object of power escaped the Panopticon a couple weeks ago, and they want everyone to keep an eye out for it. So if anyone sees a merry-go-round horse zipping around the sector, alert me immediately. Do not try to contain it on your own, and definitely don't bind it to yourself. Your security chief, Simon Arish. God, the lighting is just so incredible. All right. NSC power plant. Northmore sarcophagus container power plant. The man burned so bright that he became the reactor that powers the oldest house. And that's why Trench was able to pick up the gun and become the director.
It's dangerous out here, lady. Go see Chief Arish. He's just inside. He'll help you.
I don't want to claim the control point until I go in there and talk.
Ma'am! Hey! Chief Arish, FBC Security.
Hey Simon, I got your message. Yeah, if someone in the sector is talking about Ahti, just tell him you'll handle it and leave it at that. Under no circumstances should any personnel intervene with his day-to-day routine. I told you everything I know about him so you could better deal with his odd habits, but yes, it's still very much a classified matter. Also, I saw your report about the quarry worker who wandered into the Foundation. Detaining him was the right move. We'll figure out what he saw before we decide on next steps. Cheers, Lynn. In case you hadn't noticed, something is up between Trench and Darling. I know it isn't your strong suit, but try your best to stay out of it.
You be in a safe room?
They all have HRAs. We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just... Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Oh, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He sure has a lot of faith in his boss.
I love
Try to stay alive.
this like back and forth between these people just trying to do their jobs while also dealing with just like the eldritch of horror of what is happening. It's just so funny. It genuinely just makes me laugh. It's so good.
When the converters and coolant pumps are working again, we should be able to get this baby back down to a safe temperature. I hope.
What do you know about the hiss?
Not much, only what I've seen. Well, they use the same tactics that Marshall and Salvador taught us, which makes me think that the hiss haven't completely erased the people inside, which is a pretty fucking horrible thought. Or they're just using whatever they find in their victims' heads. In any case, they are really eager to get inside the power plant.
Why do you think that is?
Shit, I don't know. They want to make my life harder?
What do you do here, Arish?
Security chief of the maintenance sector. I make sure all the weird shit down here doesn't bother the maintenance crews. Learned everything I know from Salvador. The best security agent this bureau has ever seen.
And you like your job?
I love it. You know, everyone thinks that maintenance is the lowest rung on the ladder just because we fix pipes instead of writing memos, but I gotta be honest. These are the bravest people in the goddamn building. proud to work with them.
I've done a few odd jobs with these kind of folks. They say what they mean. I like that.
I love the way that this game portrays like laborers. Like that's like a part of this setting that, and a part of what this game is saying that I think is really interesting that a lot of people just like don't comment on, is like it's easy to see the horror of bureaucracy at play, and like it's very similar to the Southern Reach novel Authority in that regard, where it's like it's a game about the horror of working in an office building, like the mundane horror of bureaucracy and mediocrity and just mundanity, which is fun, you know, and it's got a little like Sartre in it in like a really interesting way. Just really great stuff. But the thing that holds it all together is this cast of people who are just like, listen, I'm just here to do my job, and like the lower you are on the rung, the more valiant you are, and it's like the people down here on the ground are the bravest, and we have like literally we're hired to be the janitor's assistant, right? Like that is in a way the most powerful and important person at the company. And that's reinforced through the things like the memo we just found that said, like, if you find Ahti, just don't bug him. Don't interfere with him. Very classified. Don't touch it. Like, you know, it's like this is a story about the little guy on the rung and truly working your way up to the top and, like, taking control, so to speak. But that doesn't necessarily just mean, like, taking control of your destiny or, like, becoming the director. It literally just means, like, hey, the people that are on the ground living mundane lives that you might like pass over, you're literally looking over the oldest place every single time, you know, you walk by it canonically. There's people, this is just a building in New York and it's the most important place in the world. So like think more highly of people that you think are of lower station than you. That's really cool. That's like really, really sick narrative.
What exactly is the power plant?
Listen, I only know what Salvador told me, but I know it generates all the electricity for the Bureau, and it's got 2 very simple rules. Rule 1, keep it below a certain temperature. Rule 2, don't ever, ever open it. Oh, and 3, it's classified, so I shouldn't ask.
Sounds like secrets are standard operating procedure around here.
Oh, yeah, it's all part of the job.
What do you know about the service weapon?
Not much. That thing is director only. Salvador told me by the time he saw Trench use it. Sounds like that gun can do some serious damage. Yeah, I did see pictures of it once, though, and it looks different to that thing you're carrying. You mounted or something? It's new.
Is new a good thing?
Given the circumstances, I'd say new is our best bet.
I really like his performance. It's really understated.
Do you know this Ahti guy?
Of course. He's my favorite coffee break buddy. Dude has got some crazy stories. He probably knows more than anyone else around here, if you can make sense of what he's saying.
Any idea where he's from?
I'm guessing Sweden.
He's from where he's from. But there are just some stones that are better left unturned, you know?
He's from Finland.
I should be going.
Right. You got a lockdown to lift.
Alright, got some more abilities. Pretty much immediately want to increase launch damage. Oh, but this is really important. Launch grenades and rockets back at enemies. Definitely going to take that real quick. That's good. Do I have another ability point? I do. I have 1. I don't really need the melee damage. This will probably be the last thing that we upgrade. It's kind of useless. So we'll hold on to that ability for now. Astral constructs, weapon forms. Upgrade grip. This is probably what I want. All right, so now we know what we're going to want to do. Very nice.